In this video, you're going to learn how you can stop drinking alcohol without AA, without willpower, without rehabs, but then most importantly, once you've stopped drinking it, how you can then go towards a better quality of life. So the way that I'm going to do this video is I'm first going to talk about the process of how you can reframe the way that you view alcohol to make stopping drinking simple. And then in the second half of the video, I'm going to be talking to you about how you can start defining a vision and how you can start improving all the different areas of your life to help you build that life without alcohol. Now, I know a lot of you guys may have already stopped drinking, so you'll already understand the first half of this video, so there'll be a timestamp in the description below if you just want to skip ahead. But for those of you that haven't actually stopped drinking yet, that's where we'll begin. So let's dive in. So basically, most people, when they say that they want to stop drinking, they want to reduce drinking, they want to control their drinking, whatever it is, what they do is they reason by analogy. Now, if you look on the screen right now, you'll be able to see an illustration of how this looks. You've got a problem drinker that's kind of looking ahead and looking for a solution to a drinking problem. And what they're doing essentially is they're trying to get to a position where they don't drink or they drink less or whatever it is. And now the way that they go through the vehicle of actually stopping is they ask society. And society will tell them a whole range of information. They're going to say that stopping drinking is difficult. You should reduce your intake first. You should try moderation first. Maybe you've got no willpower. Maybe you're an alcoholic. Maybe you've got a disease. Have you thought about going to a therapist? Have you thought about counseling? Have you thought about going to a rehab? And what's essentially happening is you're building this worldview where stopping drinking is very difficult, it's very hard, and even if you stop drinking, you still feel like you've made a sacrifice. You still feel like you've given something up. Now, the problem with going this approach of asking other people how to stop drinking is that all the people that you're asking how to stop drinking view alcohol as something good. They view it as something positive. They view it as something that enhances their life. So if we go and ask those people, how do we stop drinking? Then of course we're going to get told that it's difficult. Of course we're going to get told that it's hard because they think that alcohol is a good thing. Of course they're going to say that, right? Now, the trick to actually making stopping drinking effortless is to not do this. It's to not listen to these people. It's to not listen to the advice that most people give you. Success rates for most programs where people try to stop drinking are ridiculously low. I know I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but the reality is that if the success rate of all of these programs was higher, then alcohol wouldn't be as big of an issue as it is. There wouldn't be hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people out there with drinking problems. If these systems worked, then, maybe we wouldn't be in the problem that we're at right now with all of the increased drinking due to the pandemic and the stress and so on. Maybe we wouldn't be in that position. But what we're doing is when we try to stop drinking is we're looking for these solutions that just aren't that effective. So another example of this reasoning from analogy, and I've spoken about this on the channel before, but it comes from Elon Musk. And when he wanted to build SpaceX, he asked society how much a rocket cost to build, and he got told that this rocket was $60 million. So what most people would have done, and all the other people that reason from analogy, they would have just took that information in and said, this is true, this is factual, I don't need to go and figure things out for myself, I don't need to dive deep into this. If everybody is saying this, then it must be true. Now, when you are trying to stop drinking, this doesn't work. Thinking and reasoning from analogy and taking advice from people that see alcohol as a good thing will never, ever solve your problem. And even if you do stop drinking, you will feel like you are missing out. It is a mistake. I made this mistake for around a decade. And it's not a fun way to live your life. Having to avoid alcohol, having to go to bars, watching your partner order a drink because they may drink and wishing that you could have one. That is no way to live your life. That is not something that I want to do. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody wants to live their life like that. I think people want to stop drinking and get on with things and do the things that we'll talk about in the second half of this video. That's what they really want. So the trick to getting into this state of mind is different. We take the opposite approach. We logically look at the situation. We use a mental model known as first principles thinking. So in Elon Musk's example, he broke everything down to its fundamental parts. So he looked at the cost of the rocket, how much it would cost to build, the company, the warehouse, the staff, everything, the materials. And he worked out that this rocket cost just $2 million to build. So in other words, all of the information that had come to Elon was just completely wrong. This is just this worldview that people had that wasn't correct. It wasn't factual. It was just based on popular opinion. Now, if we think about alcohol, that's what's happening when we try to stop drinking. We get told that it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. Why would you even want to stop drinking? It's not even like you have a drinking problem. You get told all of this crap. And it's only when we're able to logically break down the situation and look at the first principles are we then able to make stopping drinking effortless. because it really can be effortless. I've struggled with alcohol for such a long time, and I was listening to these people for such a long time as well, and I was doing what they were telling me. And there were periods where I stopped drinking. There would be months, there would be even a 9-month period where I didn't drink. I felt like I was missing out. It didn't end up being a long-term success. I ended up drinking again. But I listened to those people, but these days it's different. Now, if you look on the screen now, you'll be able to see a different model to stopping drinking. So instead of looking to society, what we do is we actually break things down in a logical way. Now, this is the Sober Clear model of stopping drinking. And you can follow this model, right? This model works. You don't need to invest in my program. You don't need to get the support and the accountability and all the other stuff that comes with it to do this. I'm showing you how it's done. What you're doing is you're looking at the principles, right? You can see that by the red dots on the screen right now. These are the principles that you need to look at. You need to look into all of the areas and all of the reasons why you think you drink. So that means looking at this term alcoholic, looking at the willpower method and why it's so ineffective, looking at whether or not alcohol helps you relieve stress and relax, looking at whether there is even anything to give up, looking at these normal drinkers, looking at this term recovery, looking at the personality of being having this addictive personality. And it's really understanding that all of this stuff is just nonsense. No offense, I know that's probably going to upset a few people because that's probably not what you're used to being told, because we buy into this stuff, right? I bought into this stuff for such a long time. I was all in with my drinking. I thought that it gave me something. I thought that it actually provided a benefit. Sure, my life went from here and then slowly trickled down, but why could I not stop? Even when I was down here, why did I keep going back to it? Well, this was because I held these beliefs that need breaking down through first principles. Now, once you have done that, and the way that you can do that is through reading books, it's through watching these types of YouTube videos, it's through building this new paradigm, it's through investing in programs, in coaches, in systems that can help you go through this transformation. Right? The Sober Clear program, we work specifically with business owners and professionals that want to go through this process, because it's a very logical process, right? It's not an emotional process. It's a logical way to see things. It's a logical way to build a new worldview. Now, once you're able to do that, and once you're able to see the things that you believe and these deep-rooted belief systems that you've got around alcohol, well, it's only then are you then able to synthesize this information to create that new paradigm. And this is why I call my business Sober Clear, because it's a new state of mind. Right? What we're doing is we're building this worldview where you see alcohol for what it is. You see it as a poison, as something that you don't even want to drink. You just see it and you're like, I'm not too bothered about it. I just don't want to drink it, right? So that is essentially the system and the way that you can make stopping drinking effortless. You can make it enjoyable. You don't need AA. You don't need willpower. You don't need rehabs. You use logic, right? You take a logical approach. You really break things down to its fundamental levels. And I'm telling you, it's like a light bulb switch. You just don't want to drink anymore. And if you want help going through that process, if you actually want help and you want support and you want coaching, you want accountability, there'll be a short video for you to watch down below where you can book a call with myself or someone from the Sober Clear team. We'll be able to see if we can take you through that system. But again, you don't need to do that. You can do it alone if you want to. Not everybody wants to do it alone. I wouldn't want to do that alone again, right? Because it took me such a long time to find a way to do it. But again, short video for you to watch in the description if you want to learn more about the program. Then here's the thing, right? It's the transitionary period. So let's say that you've gone through that mental model, right? Let's say that you have already done this. You may be a customer of mine already. You may be in the program already, or maybe not. Maybe you have found a solution yourself. Maybe you're in a point right now where you don't want to drink, right? It's done. Now there's a problem here, and it's this transitionary period. What do you do now? Well, that's what we're going to cover next, right? This is going to be the exciting part. This is where we're actually going to start thinking about the future. And I'm going to take you through an exercise now. So just make sure you've got a pen and paper, because I really think that if you go through this and you apply this stuff and you do it and you actually put in a bit of work today, you're going to benefit from it tenfold. So I really advise you now, just grab a pen and paper, or, open up notes on your computer, because I really want you to pause the video. There's going to be exercises to do and so on. Now, again, so we're in that point now where we've stopped drinking. We don't want to drink. We're a non-drinker. It's done. What do we do next? Well, the first step, and I'm going to take you through 3 steps here. The first step is to define the vision. And what we're going to do in this exercise right now is I want you to think that it's now December 31st, 2021. 2021 was the best year of your life. It's December 31st and you look back and everything that you wanted to happen this year came true. So what I want you to do is I want you to define the vision of 2021. What happens this year? What are you going to achieve? What is going to look different? What are you going to do? How are you going to feel? What are you going to be doing for work? You want to spend a good amount of time writing at least a page, right? This is going to take you a good hour. But you want to define the vision. What are you doing for work? How's your relationship life looking? How's your spiritual life looking? What are you doing to contribute? How are you stepping up? How do you feel? Where are you waking up? Who are you waking up with? Do you have children? Have you got pets? I want you to spend a good amount of time now, and feel free to pause the video, like I said, to really try to define a vision, right? And this is a powerful, powerful activity, because if we don't know what we want, what's the point of stopping drinking? If we don't have an idea and we don't have a dream and we don't have things that we're aiming for, I know it sounds crude, but what is the point, right? We want to go towards a better quality of life. So really spend some time now, and like I said, pause the video, try to write a page, try to define it as clearly and as vividly as you can. Try to think about what you're becoming. So the next step, guys, is what we want to do is we want to have an overview of where we're at right now. And you can do this through, basically what we're doing is we're going to rate all of these different areas of life. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at health and energy, relationship, the mission, spiritual stuff. And we're going to take a rating and we're going to actually find where we think we are in that area right now between 1 and 10. And you can draw this at home as well. You can get a piece of paper and just draw like a nice pie chart like this, really to help you visualize it. And what you'll do is you'll go through each of these categories. So let's start with health and energy. So how do you feel at the moment in this present time? We're not rating the whole year. We're just thinking about how we feel right now. So how's your health? Are you healthy right now? Are you fit? Are you going to the gym? Do you have good energy? And what you want to do is just rate it. So this could be right now a 6 out of 10, right? And then you're going to go like here, there's about a 6 there, so about 60%. And you do a little thing like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to go through all of these. So your relationship right now, your relationship might be really good. Your partner and you may be really happy. You might be single right now and you might be dating. Your relationship life may be really, really good. So again, define it. So this could be an 8. Then your business may be going really well, but you know that you could do more, right? Maybe you're at a point where you're making good money, but you know that you could be pushing it. You know that this year could have been better. And right now, this could be okay, but it might just be a 6. You might know that you've got a lot more in the tank. So again, just visualize it and draw a line. Then your spiritual life. You might not have a spiritual life. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Start to think about how present you feel. Are you got a good meditative practice? Do you have faith? Are you going to a church? What does your spiritual life look like? Are you reading spiritual books? Do you have spiritual mentors? Try to get a rating here. And if you've just stopped drinking, if you're in that process, maybe this is very low. Maybe this is an area that needs a bit of work right now. So again, we're just going to rate that. And maybe you rate that a 3. Maybe your family life is amazing. Maybe you've got a beautiful partner, children, maybe you've got a dog, maybe you're in regular contact with your siblings, your parents, and whatever it is. Maybe your family life is perfect. So again, just give it a rating. Maybe you rate that a 9. And what we're essentially doing is going through all of these areas. So next, think about your social circle, your friends. Do you have good friendships? Do you have people that you can rely on? So again, maybe you'll rate that an 8. Then what about hobbies? What about fun? What are you doing to get, enjoyment and fulfillment out of things? Maybe, you have good hobbies and you have pastimes and you enjoy spending your time. I don't know what hobbies you guys do, but my hobby is CrossFit. That's my thing. I love going to CrossFit. I love training and I love doing this conditioning stuff. So, think about, do you have things that you enjoy doing? Are you playing golf? Or building things? Have you got something that you really enjoy in life? So again, rate that, and maybe that's a 9. And then we also want to think about our finances. Do we have the finances that we need to enjoy our life? Do we have the resources available to us? Do we have a financial plan? Are we organized with our finances? Are our numbers in the right kind of places? And again, just rate that. And what you'll probably see is once you've done this, there'll probably be one area that really stands out to you. So, for example, it might be your spiritual life. You may know that when you're connected with the present moment, you're connected with yourself, your ego is dissolved. Maybe you know that once you've done that, then all the other areas will improve. Now, very often there's one area that will scream out to you. That could be health and energy. That's a very popular one. Maybe it could be your mission and your business and getting your money right, contributing, doing work that you love. And what you want to do is you want to see one area where you think should be the big focus right now. So when you've done that, then what we do is we move on to step 3. And what we want to do is we want to write down all of these headings. So, relationship, mission, etc. And we want to have them written down here. And what we want to think of are specific actions that we can take right now. And I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about next week. I'm talking about right now. Some things that you can do that will move you towards that 2021 vision. Because at the end of the day, who do you need to become to achieve the vision, right? And we can just start immediately thinking of things that we can do. So maybe Maybe you've not told your partner that you love them for the past few days. And literally, to get this number from an 8 to a 9 would be you calling your partner or seeing your partner now, buying some flowers, taking them for dinner, and just expressing love, right? So we want to think of actions that we can take right now, and we want to list them out. And then as soon as you have done that, take the first step, right? Just book the table in the restaurant, book the training session in the gym. And we're going through all of these areas, and we're trying to find specific things that we can do to improve those areas. And I'm telling you, it is so much fun when you do this. Just as long as you've got the vision, as long as you know what you're aiming for, and you can see how the areas are right now, and you can just literally go, I see. My health and fitness hasn't been great. I need to get my nutrition back. I need to go to the supermarket, buy some good, healthy, nutritious food, and cook it all off for the next 3 days. Boom. Okay, go to the supermarket right now. Take the action. Just get moving with it. And this is the type of thing that we do in the Sober Clear program. We're always aiming for the future. We're always thinking, what are we doing next? What's a goal that we've got? What's something that we're moving towards? Because it's when you combine that first principles mental model with this exact kind of stuff, defining visions, moving forward, going towards a better quality of life, well, that's the recipe for success. That is how you stop drinking and you stay stopped. So again, if you want my help going through the first principles mental model, video in the description, you'll be able to book a call. And guys, if you click the videos on the screen now, you can learn more about the one thing that got me to stop drinking forever, as well as many of the benefits of being a non-drinker. Thanks a lot.